Morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's cold and windy. The sun is shining, but it's chilly, brisk. Good morning. How's everybody doing? My foot is okay, not much different. I'm walking now, back and forth. Good morning, Rickles. So, good morning. So let me tell you that if hearing about anxiety or anxiety attacks is a trigger for you, then you might not want to listen to Coffee Talk this morning. I'm going to keep it brief because I don't want to stay in the space of conversation about it. But I do want to be honest with you guys about my experience, just because it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming, and I know a change is gonna come. Anyway, happy Friday. It's Friday. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. I hope you get a little time to yourself. I am light years better than I was yesterday. Yesterday was not good at all for me. I could feel anxiety brewing all day, and it was manifesting itself into physical symptoms. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever had physical manifestations of anxiety, but mine was like awful pins and needles in my legs and my feet. I felt like I was looking at life through like a murky filter. I couldn't focus on anything. I was going through the motions, kind of like I was living outside myself, like I knew everything I was saying and doing was a lie because I couldn't connect to any thought. It was coming out of my mouth almost like I was programmed to say whatever it was I was saying, but like I wasn't connected to any sentiment. And I very, very, very rarely have to take medication for anxiety. But I felt so anxious about the physical manifestations of the symptoms that I took half a pill. And then I took the other half of the pill before I went to bed. Now here's the big one. At about 12:20 in the morning, I woke up in the middle of an anxiety attack. Now, people can have nocturnal anxiety attacks, and when you wake up, your whole body is tingling, your tongue is numb. It feels like you ate like an eighth of shrooms. Like you're like bugging out, but you weren't there for the onset of the anxiety attack because you were asleep. So I fell asleep. So you wake up in the middle of it, which feels so bizarre and scary. You wake up and everything is like whoom, 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 and you're just like, fuck, Jesus. And you're trying to get your bearings and do all the things that you've been taught, the breathing, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, blah, blah, blah. You're trying to talk yourself off the ledge, because you know if you fight it, it only gets worse. So you have to lean into it and let it wash over you, which is the scariest thing. But then you use your strong mind and you go like, God is with me. I know this is scary. I'm not going to die. I'm going to be fine. I have to let it come through me. I've got to let it wash over me. If I try to fight it, it's going to get worse. I texted Michael. He called me. You know, he gave me some really powerful advice, which was just try not to think about it and go to sleep. Oh my, just try not to think about it and go to sleep. Wow, that is novel. Thank you for that very sophisticated anxiety advice. Luckily, I was able to kind of, you know, talk myself through it and go back to sleep. And this morning I feel off. And let me tell you why. Because when your body goes through like such a significant anxiety attack, muscles contract that you didn't even know that you could be using. So you're sore in places you didn't know you could be sore. So weird. So, you know, I feel off today, a little bit like there's something sitting on my chest. See, the thing about coming off an anxiety episode like that is the next day you are very aware what you went through. So you are almost like fighting a battle of like, don't think about it, let it go. And I can't stop thinking about it. Here it comes again. And you will spend like a whole day in that space. Everything feels weird. You're not quite yourself. You're just not right. So it feels like there's an elephant sitting on my chest and like my tongue is kind of numb, and all of that is very normal. And you know, I have to keep reminding myself no one dies from this. Like you would hear on the news, like woman has anxiety, dies just while she's walking in front of her house. Doesn't happen. So, you know, I have stuff to do today, but I think I'm going to play hooky from Real Responsibility because it'll be too difficult for me to kind of really show up in my life. So I'm going to focus on my kids today. I'm going to go watch them do field day, stuff like that. All right, hold on. I gotta block Ron, unfortunately. Ron was not mature enough to handle the conversation. Anyway, I just wanted to share it with you. I've not had an episode like I had last night since my early 20s. I've been very fortunate, knock on wood, that I have not really had an episode like that. So, you know, I feel very lucky that I don't suffer from this, but it's here right now, and I'm trying to listen to my body and like why. I'm sure it has something to do with I'm sure it has something to do with leaving for South Africa and knowing that I have to leave my kids at some point. But whatever. One day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time. I really, you know, just wanted to be honest with you guys that I went through this, because I never want you guys to feel like I have all this shit going on and it never affects me, because it absolutely does. So, you know, and I have my period, which, you know, hormones are always more and whatever. So, I love you, and to anybody else who's dealing with this and going through this right now. And, you know, I think things that are good for this are crying. I think a good cry helps. Orgasms, I really think help. Self-induced or partner-induced. I really do think the endorphins from orgasms help edge out the anxiety. And, you know, I'm sure what does not help is a lot of coffee and tequila, but won't stop me. Anyway, I love you guys. And if you're going through this, just know you're not alone. And I love you. And I hope that you have a great, great day.